Hi, it's Erin from Mystics on the Mat, and today I would like to talk to you about the number 9 and the energy of nines in the tarot. So the number 9 is significant this year because it is the year 2016, and if you look at numerology, 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 6 equals 9. So they say that this year is the year of nines. And traditionally in tarot, the nines mean a fullness or a completion or a readiness, or it's time to take the next step. It's like the next step almost to the edge right before 10. And that's the energy of this year. So there's also a couple different theories that I have and that I like to implement into my readings. And that is the concept of identities. So when I boil down the 9 energy into one sentence, I think of identities are being transmuted all the time as a consequence of being alive. So what that basically means is that we're changing because we're alive. That's the definition of living things. We're constantly changing, right? Our cells are replacing themselves, our hair's growing, our nails are growing. We change our minds faster than we can blink our eyes. What is identity? To me, identity is something that we associate with ourselves, how we define ourselves, or something that another person associates us with, their definition of us or label. It's like a mask. We all wear masks. We all have different identities and suits that we put on when we're around different people, when we're in different situations, depending on how we feel during the day, what the weather's like. There's so many different variables when it comes to our identities. And I think that the energy of the nines really relates to identities, because when we see all of these figures in the 9 cards, they're usually a solitary figure. I think it represents our self-journey. Usually when I think of identity, I think of self-identity or self-expression or self-discovery. And that also relates to the number 9 card, which is the Hermit. The Hermit is, of course, a person who is by himself. He is on a journey of self-discovery. He's by himself so he can truly figure out who he really is without all of those other perceived identities from other people being put upon him. And then the other major arcana card is the Moon. And that, of course, is the number 18 in the major arcana. And 1 plus 8 equals 9. So we associate that with having 9 energy. And the Moon card is a very fun card to interpret because it has lots of underlying energies. The Moon is associated with feminine energy, with the subconscious, with things that are hidden, things that might not be available on the surface. So I think this also relates back to the Hermit too, as a form of self-identity and self-expression. So when we think about this 9 energy and implementing it into our lives in 2016, of course it means that we're ripe, we're ready to take the next step, rearing to go. But I think it also means that before we get to that fullness of 10, we have to go on our inner journey and finish figuring out who we really are. And not that we will ever really finish, because that's an ongoing thing. Again, identities are constantly being transmuted as a consequence of being alive. That's just the nature of being alive. But we're probably never going to be finished, even after we die, figuring out who we are. But don't allow yourself to feel like you've come to the place where you truly know who you are. There's always new things to discover about yourself, about other people, about how you see yourself. So I think the main point about the energy of nines is to ask yourself who you are, and not in a judging way or trying to put other people's opinions and perceived notions upon you, but really truly asking yourself and saying, what do I want to do? What do I like? Who am I? Who am I in this situation? And just being really curious about who you are and what you identify with. So I am curious to hear what you have to say about this year being the year of 9. Let me know what you think, and I hope you have a wonderful 2016. Namaste.